If you are anything like me and are just thinking 100-degree temps, nope, then you have a home here. Welcome to the Ghost Show. And you can find us on Facebook.com/The Ghost Show with Mike Russell and on Instagram at The Ghost Show with Mike Russell. Go outdoors with Mike Russell on YouTube and coming soon. Oh, yeah. I finally buckled. I did. TikTok. Yeah. I guess that's a thing. I guess it's the thing we have to do because just what I need, like another hole in the head, is another social media platform that I need to get on and get aboard. Apparently, that's the thing, though. Apparently, the TikTok is the thing all the kids want. By kids, I mean anyone under 45 years old because I'm 47, so I can say that's what the kids want. And I'm reluctant, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun because of the way it's done. If you're on TikTok, and by the way, if you're a parent, I highly suggest you get on TikTok, especially if your kids are on TikTok. See what's going down, if you know what I mean. See what they're doing, see what they're posting, and it's always smart. If your kids are on social media, you need to be on social media to see what's happening. But the platform is quick. It's just kind of goofy, and I think it'd be fun for some of our outdoor pursuits. And I'm looking forward to it. So I think it's going to be a good thing for both the show and for not one little bit. No, because I hate social media, except for the wonderful groups and platforms. Like we had Jay Cook on. This is last week, I believe it was. Yeah. From your Arizona Game and Fish Department. You can check that out on the podcast. He, which is caught up, by the way. Thank you very much. Do I have sound effects anymore? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Tell me all about that. Ooh, that's super loud. Hey, guys, quiet down. I know you want to have thunderous applause from me, but you can check it out. The new The Valley, the new Arizona Outdoors The Valley. You got to check it out. It's a really cool group. And speaking of not thunder. Well, it's kind of the same thing because he sings the song "The Thunder Rolls." That's where I was going with that. I need some coffee. Hold on a second here. Garth Brooks, I don't know if you heard this. It's kind of getting outdoors. It's an outdoor stadium. The man filled up a giant stadium, a huge stadium. Garth Brooks still does that because people lose their minds over Garth Brooks. The concert was so loud and so booming, it registered on the Richter scale. The concert caused an earthquake. Either caused an earthquake or the vibrations were such that the geological whatever place, was like, we registering an earthquake. That's kind of cool. I would love to feel that. Like if you're just around the stadium or in the stadium, yeah. And I have a head injury, and I'm in. I want to give that a try, yeah. But then again, I'd have to go to a Garth Brooks concert. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So anyway, let's get back to doing the outdoors because this is the show that celebrates the outdoors, all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. If you listen to Russell and Hunter every now and again, you might catch us at 7 o'clock. We have a happy ending, free of charge. Thank you very much. And the happy endings, Rob just makes up a sponsor because we don't have a sponsor for it. It's rather embarrassing, but we don't have a sponsor for it. And so sometimes we'll sponsor it as the Go Show. And he tries to get that phrase, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. He's like 0 for 40 now. Yeah, the poor kid, he wrote it down too. So he goes, the beautiful outdoor playground of a state in which we live. Or he'll say the beautiful outdoor state that we live in. Like he'll get almost everything right of our it was a tagline, catchphrase, whatever it is, and almost everything right. But that's what we do here at the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of the state that we live in. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We got the Commissioner's Awards coming up. When I say the award-winning Go Show, we won a Media of the Year award years and years ago. But I wear it around my neck like Flava Flav in a clock. Yeah, I wear that just to the plaque, just right. Kids dig it. Okay, getting to the outdoors. We're moving on to fishing season. As a matter of fact, the second hour of this show is going to be dedicated to kayak fishing, and something I highly recommend that you try this week, whenever you want this season, give kayak fishing a try. So we're going to talk a lot about that, but we have to look back. We always have to look back in the rearview mirror, and I don't think it's something that we really do. I don't think it's a lot that we do on our hunts. I don't think we do that a lot in really anything that we do. But I came across this idea while going through one of the worst things that happens to us in the radio world. And that's when the boss, the program director, says, we need to have an air check. We need to have a sound meeting or an audio meeting. What that is, it means you go into your boss's office and you sit and listen to you do an entire segment of radio. He'll pause along the way and tell you what you did wrong. And on top of that, you're listening to yourself. I hate listening to myself. I have listened to very few of these shows unless boss pulls me in, wants to talk about what I said, what I didn't. So it's horrible to go through, but it's so necessary. It's made me a better broadcaster. It's advanced my career, and it lets me do what I love to do. It's kind of like putting in the work, the practice hours, right, in sports. And go Suns, by the way. Holy mackerel. If you didn't catch, Wednesday's game, holy mackerel. I mean, rarely since Michael Jordan have I seen one or two players just put a team on their shoulders and go. And Chris Paul and Devin Booker just did that. It was impressive to see. Anywho, where's I going with that? Oh, yeah, putting in the practice. So why don't we look back on our fall hunts? We rarely look back on them. And a lot of things, for me at least, that I'd look back on a hunt, an unsuccessful hunt especially, I would think about what gear I needed. Because I'm a man, that's what I do. I'm a gearhead. So I'm thinking about, what if I had this? What if I had this? And instantly I go shopping for it. I find out how much it costs. I start thinking, okay, I'm going to need to save for this or save for that, or I can go get this right now, whatever it is. And then it just sits in the garage for just about a year, under a year. And then I pull it out next season and unsuccessful. And what I'm not doing is looking back on the hunt and see what I did wrong. Because trust me, I did a lot wrong. I have been to Missouri on a bow hunt, didn't see one deer, 4 days, didn't see one. Not even off in the distance out of range. Didn't see a deer. That's me. That's a me thing. Because I got to tell you, the year before, I was in Missouri, and I was sitting at the base of a tree with my bow, hanging out, looking right over this meadow that led to a pond. So I knew they were going to come to water. Everything was, it was hot. It was warm for the time. I think it was like something like 40-something degrees. And so I was sitting there. I'm like, there's no deer coming in here. How is there not being deer? And then I hear this big shh. For those deer hunters, you know what that is. That's a buck that's not too happy. And it was right behind me. It just shook the trees. And I froze. And I'm still looking out into the meadow. And it was like, all these doe just started popping up. They were laying down in front of me the entire time. So I felt pretty good about that. I felt pretty good about my stealth until I realized what I did wrong. I was sitting on a game trail like an idiot. Yeah, so the buck was just coming to hang out with his ladies, get some, a couple drinks, happy hour. You know where we're going with that. And then I was sitting on the spot where he walks out into the open and like makes his presence. Sup, ladies? That kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. At least I figured out that's how that goes in deer world. But looking back on it, now I never, ever, never, ever even stop anywhere near a game trail. I don't walk on game trails. I don't do that. But I learned from my mistake. And you look back on what you did wrong. Trust me, you did some stuff wrong. Could have been scent control. Could have been camo. Could have been time. Could have been you didn't put enough time in. That's the hardest pill to swallow. I think in an unsuccessful fall hunt, that's the hardest pill to swallow. I didn't put in the time. I didn't stay out long enough. I was too excited to get back for a sandwich at camp or get back to start the fire at camp instead of I am staying till the last minute that I could possibly process. Now, when you start getting in your own head, you're like, oh, man, if I see one now, it's down in the canyon. It's going to be at night. It's going to be about midnight till we get it all out. I brought good steaks. Yeah. I think it's the hardest pill to swallow. It'd be hard for you to prove me wrong on that, or at least talk me out of that, because that's the one that bites me the most, is if I didn't put in the 7, 8, 9 miles that day, if I didn't get up early enough and get out way before first light. Because you should, I think as a hunter, especially a big game hunter, you should have some sort of experience where you've seen just the silhouette of an animal, not way before shooting light, because you were out there at the right time, you were hunkered down, you were in your spot, and you see something. that's obviously not in light, right? Not shooting you, not a shooting light. You can't shoot it, but to have that experience, you done right. So look back on those fall hunts. I'm telling you, it's gonna make you a better hunter. Just like those awful air checks that we have to go through. Oh, did one this week too. Wasn't that bad? Wasn't that bad? Because he started the meeting off with guys, I forgot to pull audio for you. All right. Outdoor memories. I wanted outdoor memories and how they help with us in coping with life and all the garbage that we see these days. It's coming up next right here on The Go Show. Stay tight. This is the award-winning Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. I'm your host, Mike Russell. I do appreciate you being here, and I know we're kind of meandering around here and there, but I was just reading an article. It's fantastic. I'm about to tell you about at a Field and Stream, and I saw, I think, 4 ads the minute it popped up on the best red dot site you can have, the best these, that, the top 5 these and those. Let me help you out with that real quickly. Let me help you out with shopping for something in the outdoors. Go check it out. Or if you're not, or if you're not return adverse like I am, I do not like returning things. I hate returning things. You just try things on Amazon, get a couple of them, see which one you like the best. But when somebody says the best or the top 5, the only way you can judge the top 5 is the top 5 selling. Really, that's how you can, unless you use 5 of them and you say these are the best. I'm sorry, you use more than 5 of them and say these are the 5 best, or you use them all and you can say these are the 5 best. But that's actually relative as well, because it's the 5 best for me. So that's why you don't hear on this show, you don't hear things like, this is the very best, you have to have it, unless I'm talking about Canyon Coolers or Slavo Salt. Because I've tested all of those. So to me, Canyon Coolers are the best. Slavo Salt, to me, is the best. I advise you try them. I highly recommend that you try them. But if a Yeti or a just Lowry's salt is good for you, go for it. But when you see all these articles over and over again, the 10 best shotguns for females, I love that one. Those are my favorite. I mean, how for females, like women are just monolithic and they're all the same. They're all the same. Every female is the same. They're made the same. They're the same size. They have the same strength. They have the same background. They have the same eyesight. They have the same grip. They have same. So dumb. Top 5 shotguns for the ladies. Nope. Yeah, not going to get that here. Not get that here at all. This, excuse me, is a program that focuses on the outdoors. So let's get back to that. But yeah, when you see these lists, they're listicles, is what they are. They want you to click to the next one, and they get credit for clicks. Because that's how websites are paid, essentially, and that's how they monetize their website, is how many people click on their site. So if you have the top 20 shotguns for kids, yeah, that's click. It's 20 clicks, 21 clicks, just to find out which one. And they'll say, like, wait till you see number 1. So you got to click. Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. Or there's just listicles where you just scroll, and that gives them time on the page. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of analytics going on there. Trust me. Yeah, that's why all the analytics is the reason why I have to get on TikTok now. Ugh. Somebody just set me out to pasture. There was, it's called Smoke on the Water. And it was a wonderful story about, the guy saying his outdoor memory mostly is smoke. He was talking about from, firing up the truck and a big old billow of black smoke when they went out on adventures, and then, the smoke from the campfire, the smoke on the lake, the little fog area on the lake looks like smoke on the water. He said those are his most fond memories. And I think that's nice, and it's very romantic. It really is like, the smell of the exhaust from Dad's old truck, and as we loaded up our tackle boxes and our fishing gear, and as we would go to the donut shop and get a donut, and they get to the lake, and it was so pristine. The sun was coming up, and the smoke on the water. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yawn. Hey, well, if you're into that thing, I apologize. Yawn. What a jerk am I? But yeah, not for me. Those are not, by far, not my favorite memories. And trust me, I have seen the most beautiful things in the outdoors. None of those are my favorite memories. None of those do I recall to help me cope with what I have going on in life. And that's really what I got from that, is that the outdoors and your memories can help you get through this nonsense. And if you have no outdoor memories, go make some. It's going to make the rest of your life, your kids' life, it's going to make everything better. I'm being serious. I can say that with complete certainty. It will make your life better. Is it going to bring you riches? Maybe. Maybe you'll love it and you'll have a TV show and it'll be great. Not a radio show, trust me. No, you're not going to make any money with that. No. So if you take on a outdoor pursuit, you're going to start to build up memories that you will recall all the time. And can we be honest with each other? Can we talk like grown-ups here? Is that we need that. We need a whole lot of that. And I think that it's a time where you might look back and go, man, I really wish I'd done more of that. Go do that now. You can. I hope you can. I hope you're physically able to. I hope financially you're able to, whatever it is. And if you're not, you know what? I could sit and watch Jaster as much as that demon dog ate my favorite hat this week. Oh, as much as I want to bury him somewhere. I love just sitting outside drinking coffee and watching that guy do his backyard laps. I love it. And let me tell you something. When I tell that story of him doing his backyard laps, it's a specific pattern that he runs the entire yard. And we have a really big yard. So he goes out around the back wall, and then he goes down to the RV gate, the side of the house, comes back around, sprints to the back of the house, and goes down to my barbecue area, comes back around, dives over a storage thing that we have. It's a pattern, and he's fast. Have you heard the interview with Julie Swan? He said his dad pulled from the front when he ran, and his mom pushed from the back. So magically, he's got both of those traits, and he is a speed demon. So you don't have to go break the bank. You can sit outside and do something. Sit outside and watch hummingbirds. Get a hummingbird feeder. Hummingbirds are the coolest animal on the planet, I think, and rhinos. I think those are the two coolest animals on the planet. That's the ABCs of me. Anyway, but it can help you with that. My best memories and just things that I recall when I'm just, man, I haven't been out in a while. Man, I haven't been fishing in a while. Are the disasters. I am a disaster remembering schmuck, I guess. I don't know, but I laugh. Because the worst things that happen stick with me the most. And I don't think I'm alone in this. Because there's so many people that when I start sharing my memories, it's of a disaster. And then like when I went on a bison hunt and I forgot my shoot stick. So and there's nothing to lean it on. It was just standing in mano a mano. And I talk about the feeling that I had more so than taking one of the most amazing animals in the world. I talk about what I forgot. I talk about my hate of walking through a shallow river and my socks are wet. That's what I talk about. I know it's not, Mike, you're a boring storyteller. No, because the way I tell it is passionate. It gets a lot more detailed. And I'll tell the story again next time we head up there. But I just, it's not like, and then I woke up and I came out of the jumping jack trailer and the birds were singing and the sun. Nope. No. It was the day that I took the whole entire family camping and I forgot the tent poles. That stuff. And now to drive all the way back into the city and I just bought a tent. It's those types of stories and what my kids said and how they reacted and how I reacted. Because trust me, I'm a dad. I didn't react properly. I learned. It was a very teachable moment that day. But the cool part about it is these memories you get recalled and you either just sit and enjoy them or you tell them to a friend and you just feel better. And that, I don't know many people that tell me bowling stories. I don't know many people that tell me stories about the experience they had going to a movie theater. I hear people telling me stories about doing stuff, getting outside, barbecuing, tons of stories about grilling. And then I just think it's better. Our outdoor world isn't, no. Or maybe some of the coffee. No. Our outdoor world is hard work. And when you put all this time, effort, and money into resources into doing what we do, like if things go wrong, they go wrong, sometimes in spectacular fashion. And if we let that ruin our desire to go out and do it again, you're missing out on memories. You're missing out on things that can just bring you calm and zen in a world where we just need some, we need some good, right? I mean, there's a lot going on. We've got war happening, coming out of a dang pandemic. People are saying that thing's coming back. And you're like, whoa, we have infighting, political nonsense. The Supreme Court, don't even get me started right now. Don't even get me started. I'm a Supreme Court nut. I study the Supreme Court. I dig the Supreme Court. Yep, every justice. I dig them. Don't care. I'm a Supreme Court guy. That leak, I had to go to one of my Zen spots. I had to start telling stories about the outdoors because, woo, man. Just the fact that it was leaked, it was just blew. Forget about which side of that debate you're on. Whew, that leak was a big deal. But anyway, we have all of that going on. It's enough to get you all riled up. So get outside and you're gonna have some memories and it's gonna help you. There we go. That's the bottom line of that one. Yeah. Conservation groups. Let's talk about this. Conservation groups. I think this summer that you need to volunteer with. And what is Dingle Johnson and why is it absolutely crushing it for conservation? That's coming up next on The Go Show. Stay right there. And thank you so much for being here. This is The Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of state we live in. You can find us on social media, facebook.com/The Go Show with Mike Russell, and on Instagram at The Go Show with Mike Russell. Go Outdoors with Mike Russell on YouTube, and coming soon, TikTok. Yeah. This segment of the program is brought to you by Slavo Salt Seasonings. Get over to slavosalt.com. Use the promo code GOSHOW and get 15% off your order. Seriously. Slavo Salt. It's the best. Slavo. Yeah. And by the way, Dan, I know I owe you some Slavo. I'm getting it. I promise. I just always forget every single time. Squirrel. Yeah. It's a tough one. I'm telling you. But thanks for being here. We appreciate you being here. And go get some Slavo Salt. Once again, promo code GOSHOW. I was on a conference call this week. I'm a board member, board of directors. That's right. For Wildlife for Tomorrow. Wildlife for Tomorrow is basically the fundraising arm of your Arizona Game and Fish Department. There are things that the Game and Fish Department can't fund, and this is a group that handles a lot of that for on the ground efforts and conservation and outreach and kids stuff. It's fantastic. It's just a wonderful, wonderful group. I was on a conference call, and I just felt cool because I was like, not that I'm on a board of directors and I'm like, I'm kind of adulting now. It's just that I knew what I was doing good. I knew what I was doing was adding to something. I knew what I was doing was putting more effort into conservation than most people do in this world. Just being a member of a board of a conservation group, that's it. And it got me thinking that there are so many opportunities for you outside of hunting and fishing, camping, hiking, biking, all of that, that you could add to this. Now, let me help you out with this. This isn't lecturing. I'm not going to try to get you to sign up for anything like that. But I do want to encourage you to have your family talk about kind of what they would want to do as far as outreach and conservation. So let's use Arizona Elk Society as an example. Arizona Elk Society is not an organization about killing elk. We've had Steve Clark, the executive director, on several times in the show over the last 9 years. Man's done a great job. They run a banquet every year that is just absolutely bananas. But it's not about killing elk. It's not about hunting at all. The only part of hunting is their Heroes Rising Outdoors division, which takes wounded veterans out on guided hunts. That's fantastic. And if you and the family want to go participate in that, they have everything. They have an entire cooking crew. They have a setup teardown crew. They have a guide crew. They have everything. It's that part of it is about hunting, but it's more about outreach to veterans than anything else, and just handing somebody that just gave an arm up for this country, to use that as an example. Just give them a cool guided hunt. That's pretty cool stuff. But then I remember taking intern Sarah out to their meadow restoration project that they had going on up north. And we worked our tails off, but we ate 3 great meals a day, and we camped, and we had a blast. And then that actual project, I think, won a national award from the U.S. Department of Conservation, the U.S. Agriculture, I don't know, something like that, something along those lines. Won a dang national award. There are so many things that you can do Look at Mule Deer Organization. Any of these, we call them the critter groups. So it could be anything. Ducks Unlimited. It's got an animal in the title. They have opportunities to do wetland restoration, to plant trees, to mend fence lines. They have opportunities for you to volunteer and go have a camping trip, have a fun time with the family, and do the most for conservation. So when I was saying that I felt cool that I was, I was on the board of directors and I felt good in this meeting, this conference call that we had because I was doing something. It really did. And it really can. And you really can. Because there are groups out there that are just doing what the government won't do. Doing what the government can't do. I always say this, that we're the front line of conservation in our nation, period. There's no two ways about it. You cannot talk me down from that. I have studied the North American model of wildlife conservation. I know this cold. I know that outdoorsmen and women, sportsmen and women, are the front line of conservation because we fund it. And no, not just we fund it, we're out there doing things. Let's talk about Dingle Johnson. I know, just because I like to say Dingle Johnson. I'm childish like that. This is an excise tax that goes onto all the fishing equipment that you do. This was essentially the bill that was stapled onto the Pittman-Robertson Act, which basically started the North American model of wildlife conservation, an 11% excise tax on ammunition and firearms. Dingle Johnson came along, and they're the ones that said, okay, we are going to put angling stuff in this as well. The Pittman-Robertson Wildlife Restoration Act was in 1937. And prior to 1937, there was already an existing 11% excise tax on firearms, ammunition, and archery equipment. But at the time, the money was directed to the U.S. Treasury. The Pittman-Robertson Act changed that, and instead of those funds going to the Secretary of the Interior, the funds are actually given to the states in use of wildlife habitat and hunting-related, I guess, conservation efforts. It was a gigantic success. But then in 1950, after World War II, and more people than ever started to fish recreationally, Michigan Congressman John Dingell and Colorado Senator Edwin Johnson, they realized a fishing version of Pittman-Robertson would most likely have the same positive effect on fishing conservation. And you know what? Fast forward 72 years. Oh, they're right. They are right. They also put a 3% tax on sales of yachts. Yeah, so when someone actually goes out and buys $1 million yacht, yeah, they're paying $30,000 to fishing conservation. So when you see the big fishing boats out there, the big vessels, and you like roll your eyes, you're like, oh man, look at that. Yeah, I can't believe someone has that kind of money. They just put, if it's $1 million yacht, they plunked $30,000 down just to fishing conservation. Yeah. So let's say this revenue stream from the Dingle Johnson Act went to wildlife agencies across the grants for different agencies across the nation. And it's fantastic. It's just a really cool thing. Pittman-Robertson, Dingle Johnson, look into that and you'll see that, okay, these are the guys that are funding. These are the women that are funding conservation. If you buy ammunition, if you buy firearms, if you buy archery equipment, if you buy fishing equipment, all of that money goes to each state. So here's some cool agencies that you want to get involved. Once again, Mule Deer Organization I talked about. Arizona Elk Society has a army of volunteers. And if you want to be, let me put it this way. It's a lot better in my mind to hook up with an organization that has a lot of volunteers. That way you don't feel a lot of pressure. Because you don't want to. You're doing this for your own time. You're donating your time and your efforts. You get a lot out of it, but you're donating your time and your efforts. And when you get there, you're not the only one trying to figure things out. You got a whole team around you that says, this is how it's done. And then you help out and you feel great. You eat good food. You can't this. Yeah. Arizona Elk Society, look into that all day long. Mule Deer Organization and Wildlife for Tomorrow. We are always looking for donations. We're also looking for participation in our two really cool events. We have a Wildlife Hall of Fame, and we have the Celebrity Wing Shoot, which is too much fun. It's actually a pheasant shoot out at the club with Coach Tony. But let's talk about some of these groups. Backcountry hunters and anglers. This is a really, really cool group that has grown really fast. I mean, like gangbusters. Backcountry hunters and anglers is, I think it's the fastest growing conservation organization in North America. And they're more focused on hunting heritage, and their events are all volunteer focused, and they education, skills development, community building, all of that. They are in 48, all lower 48, in 3 Canadian provinces. If you have some Canucks in the family, eh? Ducks Unlimited. Ducks Unlimited. Once again, it makes it sound like, oh, I don't want to go shoot ducks. You don't have to go shoot ducks. You don't have to at all. As a matter of fact, you could you do wetland restoration. You can learn about habitats. You can get the kids involved. You can do their workshops. There's a lot of worthwhile organizations to really, really get into. Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever are 2 fantastic, fantastic organizations as well. Trout Unlimited, these cats, let me tell you, I'm just talking about different conservation groups that you can get involved with and volunteer with this summer and, keep the kids busy, keep their minds busy, sign up for their camps, and actually maybe volunteer at the camp as well while your kids are there. How fantastic would that be? These trout guys are fantastic. I have a great time with them every single time I connect with them. The Wild Turkey Federation is the last one that I'll talk about and I'll just tell you about. Once again, a solid group of people that volunteer. They give time, effort, materials to other camps, other organizations as well. You're going to get hooked up with a really cool outdoor community. Yeah. Let's face it, what in the world? I found this week. You're going to learn about it. It's called forest therapy. Yeah, forest therapy. I'll tell you what that is coming up next on The Go Show. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. This is The Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. A big shout out to Intern Beans. Yeah, Intern Beans has been Oklahoma City all week at the FFA Finals. Yeah, national. That's right, FFA Finals. Future Farmers of America, so you know. She is on the soils and meats team. I believe that you identify certain types of soil and you identify certain types of meat. I think that's really what it is. Yeah, but she's doing great. She's an officer in FFA. So proud of Intern Beans, who is there rocking and rolling in Oklahoma City this weekend. It's weird as a dad. It is weird. I'm telling you. Intern Beans, so you know, it's my daughter. She's 16, and it's just weird, putting her on a plane and saying, okay, go to a convention. She's doing the same thing this summer, going to Washington, D.C. Thinking, wow, maybe Russell and Hunter should go to D.C. Keep an eye on things, if you know what I mean. From time to time, I get a little bit preachy when it comes to the North American model of wildlife conservation, so I appreciate you letting me say Dingle Johnson as many times as I could. But I really appreciate the feedback that I got over the break. A couple texts I got were about volunteering, about where they could go and volunteer. And a lot of those camps, by the way, we had Kara Jensen on a couple weeks ago. A lot of those camps are right on her site. Yeah, Be Outdoors Arizona. You got to go check that out. Okay, it's got a whole schedule. It's got trailheads. It's got camps for the kids. It's got it all. It's all going on. So you got to go check that out. And but I also get preachy about the benefits of being in the outdoors. I mentioned last week that there was a study done on eyesight and how all of us are, once again, I forget what it is. I think it's nearsighted. Nearsighted means you can see things close up, right? Farsighted, further away. That's why I need Intern Beans here. But that big problem in most children can be solved. By, what the study is found was that you go outside and stare at the horizon for 10 minutes a day. It'll start to have your eyes focus on things that aren't, 2 feet in front of your face, like a cell phone, laptop, desktop, TV, whatever it is. It has, because your eyes are programmed to, all I need to do is look close. All I need to do is look right here. If I focus on what's right here, I don't have to worry about what's beyond that. And your eyes adjust accordingly because your body's amazing. And so the act of just looking into the horizon for about 10, 15 minutes a day is going to change your whole world. Might even change your eyesight. Might change the makeup, the composition of the way your eyes see the world. So when I found something called forest therapy, I'm like, oh, here we go. Because I look for stuff that backs up or challenges what I feel. Like I had a discussion with Kara Jensen about predator hunting, because I'm not a big predator hunter. I don't want to predator hunt. I never thought of that because I'm like, coyotes are usually the first to think of, prairie dogs and the like. Well, prairie dogs aren't hunted; they're more food than they are the predator. But I'm just never been a fan. So I had a challenging discussion with her, and she challenged my belief on that. So I look for both facts to support what I bring you, and I also look for things that can challenge what I might bring you or haven't brought you because I haven't really been into it. And if I design this show, I usually design around things that I love, things that I'm passionate about, because things that I'm not passionate about, that's not entertaining. We're going to spend the next hour of the program talking about kayak fishing because I love it. So I think it's fun. I think it's accessible. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to kind of bring that in, right? Forest therapy. Forest therapy explained. The beauty of the outdoors naturally encourages people to go outside, inhale fresh air, listen to the birds, take a walk, and watch the wind animate the branches of the tree. This, in its essence, is forest therapy. This practice offers activities designed to create experiences that enhance connectedness to nature and to self, strengthen social relationships, and boost the therapeutic and restorative effects of nature for human health and well-being. Right there, right? You can't beat that. Look, this goes back just the whole forest therapy and outdoors therapy. It goes back to, oh man, I'm talking like how about this? Persia 2,500 years ago. Yeah, Cyrus the Great built lush green gardens in crowded urban areas of Persia. How about that? To promote calm in the busy city, because they knew that. Check this out. Trees give off phytochemicals called phytosanites. It's multisyllabic. Come on. They give out an antimicrobial property influencing and improving your immune systems. Once again, I say it again and again. Spanish flu, worst thing to hit this nation. We're not going to get into a debate on that. Worst thing to hit the nation, the patients that were outside in the hospital overflow were the ones that were healing and had the lowest death rates. Yeah, because of this kind of stuff. I love this. I love forest therapy. I want this. A field study conducted in 2010 had 24 forests across Japan showed that forest environments promoted lower levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, lower pulse and blood pressure, greater parasympathetic, thank you very much, greater parasympathetic nerve activity. That gets you kind of in a relaxed kind of frame of mind. And lower sympathetic nerve activity that decreases anxiety in those who walked and view forest areas. That's it. They walked them through a forest and then tested them before, tested them after, and then boom, wow, look at that. You lowered everything just by taking a walk in the forest. They have something that's called, when I was reading here, they have something called forest bathing. No, it doesn't mean get naked in a puddle in the forest. I mean, if you're into that, it's America. You do what you do, okay? Just don't do it around other people. It's actually it's a Japanese concept. It's called Shinrin Yoku. Take a few hours out of your busy life, head to a densely forested area, and let the trees do the rest. Let me ask you this. How much have you spent on therapy in your life? Just in co-pays. You're like, oh, insurance pays. No. Just in co-pays. How much have you paid? I know gas is expensive, but getting to a forested area, trust me. Trust me, it's so worth it. It's so therapeutic. And I'll ask you this. Actually, I'll challenge you on this, because once again, we talk about challenging each other. I challenge you to talk to your doctor. Doc, learn this thing called forest therapy. Can we talk about it? And you'll learn pretty quickly if your doctor's a pill pusher or your doctor's really into your health. Because I've talked to my doctor about the restorative benefits, the regenerative benefits of being outdoors. And she completely agrees, both my doctors. I have a normal, standard, out of central casting kind of doctor, my what do you call it, primary care doctor. And then I have one that you go and she takes 17 vials of blood out of you and tests everything in your body and says, here's where you're jacked up, here's where you're not. Insurance doesn't cover that one. But I said, hey, but I feel better. I'm in better health. I know where I need to focus and the like. But I asked her as well. Outdoors. She goes, as much as you possibly can. So get back to this forest bathing, a 2-hour forest bath. Oh, sorry, go back. Squirrel. Ask your doctor, please. Get back to me. Any doctor that says, I don't know about that doctor. 2-hour forest bath will help you unplug from technology, slow down your daily mundane activities, and it'll bring you into the present moment, de-stress you, and relax you. But how about this? What happens if you can't cut out 2 hours of your day once a week or twice a month, something like that? Even a small amount of time in nature can impact your health. If you're going out there breathing deeply, we have cool trailheads out here. We really do. You don't have to do it to exercise. You can do it just to fill your lungs with fresh air. The desert is such an amazing place. And this week, I know it gets 100 degrees. I get it. But this week, the mornings have been cool enough because I get up pretty darn early. This is where we kind of adjust our clocks. And just taking deep, full lungs full of fresh air, even in the, I live out in the West Valley. It's not like I live out in the forest, but just having that fresh air is just taking a moment to just be in that moment. And I'll tell you this, so you know, you can actually have backyard therapy or porch therapy or patio therapy. I'm telling you, you have your coffee outside every day, your whole wide world would change. It'll change for the better. I commit that to you. You're going to have lower stress levels. You're going to feel a lot better. And you're going to be able to fight off certain germs and all this because that's when your immune system actually gets a workout when you actually go outside. Then it gets stronger. I'm telling you, forest therapy. Oh, look this up. You're going to be so happy you did. I'm so glad I got to bring that to you because I really believe in it. I really do. I might get the chills right now. So I got all fired up. I'm excited.